Have you ever wondered what role dogs played in ancient cultures? A fascinating question, isn't it? To dive into this, let's set the time machine back thousands of years, where dogs were much more than just pets. In ancient societies, dogs held a variety of roles, often of high importance. They were more than just man's best friend. They were spiritual guides, protectors, and symbols of various virtues. It might surprise you to know that our furry friends weren't just chasing balls and begging for treats. In many cultures, dogs were seen as more than just animals. They were considered spiritual beings with significant symbolic meanings. For instance, in ancient Egypt, dogs were associated with the god Anubis, the guide of souls to the afterlife. These canines were revered for their loyalty and protective nature, symbolizing guidance and protection in the spiritual realm. Meanwhile, in ancient Rome, dogs were often kept as companions and protectors. They were seen as guardians of the home, keeping away evil spirits and intruders. A dog's bark was considered a powerful protective force, warding off potential threats and alerting the household to danger. And let's not forget about the role of dogs in Native American cultures. Here, dogs were valued for their loyalty and viewed as guides. They were believed to possess the ability to see and interact with spirits, making them crucial spiritual companions. In Celtic cultures, dogs were admired for their hunting abilities and were symbols of courage and persistence. They were often depicted in Celtic art and mythology, embodying the warrior spirit and the virtues of loyalty and companionship. But it wasn't just about symbolism. Dogs were also practical companions in ancient times. They assisted in hunting, provided protection, and offered companionship. Their keen senses and abilities were highly valued, making them indispensable members of ancient societies. So it's clear that dogs held a special place in the hearts of our ancestors, just as they do today. The bond between humans and dogs is truly timeless, transcending centuries and cultures. It's a testament to the enduring love and respect we have for these incredible creatures. One of the cultures that revered dogs was the ancient Persian religion, Zoroastrianism. In Zoroastrianism, the Zend-Avesta, a sacred text, holds numerous references to dogs, signifying their importance and spiritual significance in this ancient faith. This text is a critical piece of Zoroastrian literature, shedding light on the religion's teachings and practices. Among the many creatures the Zend-Avesta speaks of, one stands out prominently, the dog Vanghapara. This dog, characterized by a prickly back and a long, thin muzzle, is a force of good, battling the creatures of the evil spirit from midnight till dawn. The Vanghapara is a symbol of the good spirit's relentless fight against evil, embodying the eternal struggle between light and darkness that lies at the heart of Zoroastrian teachings. The Zend-Avesta also stipulates severe consequences for harming a dog, reflecting their revered status in Zoroastrian society. For instance, anyone who kills the dog Vanghapara is said to harm their own soul for 9 generations. They are warned of the difficulty of crossing the Kinvad Bridge, a metaphorical path to the afterlife, unless they atone for their sin by offering a sacrifice. Moreover, the text prescribes a strict penalty for those who harm a dog. If one kills the Vanghapara, they must pay a penalty of 1,000 stripes with the Aspahe Astra and the Srausho Karana, instruments of punishment in ancient Persia. It further warns that if someone harms a dog, causing it to become unfit for work, they are responsible for any loss that may occur as a result, such as a thief or wolf carrying away sheep from the fold. In Zoroastrianism, dogs were not just pets, but creatures of spiritual significance. Their revered status underscores the profound respect for life and the interplay of good and evil forces that define this ancient religion. The Zend-Avesta also outlines certain offenses against dogs. These offenses are not taken lightly, and they hold significant spiritual implications. The offenses range from mistreating dogs to the extreme of taking a dog's life. The ancient text specifically mentions a certain breed of dog known as Vanghapara, which is recognized as a creature of the good spirit. The Vanghapara is seen as a protector, fighting off the creatures of the evil spirit from midnight until the rising of the sun. To harm or kill this dog is considered a grave sin, equated to the killing of one's own soul for 9 generations. The consequences of such an offense are far-reaching, extending even into the afterlife. The offender is said to be unable to cross the Kinvad Bridge, a metaphorical bridge between life and death, unless they have atoned for their sin with a sacrifice to Srausha, a divine entity representing obedience and religious ritual. The Zendavesta further details offenses against other types of dogs, such as the shepherd's dog, the house dog, and the Vahunazga dog, a dog of good breed. To harm these dogs in a way that renders them unfit for work, for instance by cutting off their ear or paw, is also considered a serious offense. The penalties for such offenses are not merely spiritual but also practical. If, for example, a man were to harm a shepherd's dog, rendering it incapable of protecting the sheep, and as a result, a thief or a wolf were to steal the sheep, the man would be held accountable. He would have to compensate for the lost sheep and also pay for the wound inflicted upon the dog, as if he had committed a willful wounding. The same rule applies to the house dog. If a man were to harm a house dog, rendering it incapable of protecting the house, and a thief or a wolf were to steal goods from the house, the man would be held responsible. He would have to compensate for the stolen goods and pay for the wound inflicted upon the dog. These examples illustrate how seriously these ancient cultures took offenses against dogs. Dogs were not mere pets or working animals, they were sacred beings, protectors against evil, and integral parts of society. Any harm done to them was seen as a direct affront to the divine order and was dealt with accordingly. These ancient cultures took the well-being of dogs very seriously indeed. But it wasn't all about punishment. The Zendavesta also speaks of the duties and virtues of dogs. In the realm of Zoroastrianism, dogs were more than just pets or animals. They were entrusted with specific responsibilities akin to duties that they were expected to perform. For instance, a shepherd's dog was tasked with the vital role of protecting the flock, keeping a watchful eye over the sheep, and alerting the shepherd in case of any intruders or predators. Similarly, a house dog was responsible for safeguarding the home and its inhabitants, acting as a first line of defense against any potential threats. But the duties of dogs went beyond just protection. These faithful creatures were also seen as guardians of morality. They were expected to uphold certain virtues, embodying qualities like loyalty, bravery, and vigilance. These virtues were deeply valued in Zoroastrian society, and dogs were often revered for their embodiment of these traits. In this light, dogs were seen as partners, working alongside humans to maintain order and safety. They were respected for their unwavering loyalty and bravery, often risking their own lives to protect their human companions and their property. This deep-seated respect for dogs and their virtues marked a unique aspect of Zoroastrian society, setting it apart from many other ancient cultures. The concept of the mad dog also finds mention in the Zendavesta. A mad dog, often seen as a danger in society, was treated with caution and care. The aim was not to harm or punish the dog, but to keep it safely contained and try to cure it of its madness. This approach reflects the compassionate and considerate treatment of animals in Zoroastrianism, even when they posed a potential threat. The dog was seen as a valuable member of society with its own duties and virtues. Dogs were not just animals, but partners and protectors, their roles deeply interwoven into the fabric of Zoroastrian life. They were cherished for their virtues, respected for their duties, and cared for with compassion and understanding. So, what can we take away from all this? We've delved into the fascinating world of ancient cultures and their profound respect for dogs. We explored the role of dogs in Zoroastrianism, where they were considered sacred creatures, their well-being protected by religious doctrines. We discovered the severe consequences of offenses against dogs, emphasizing the high regard in which these animals were held. We also discussed the duties and virtues of dogs, shedding light on the integral part they played in the lives of our ancestors. This reverence for dogs, seen in the past, mirrors the affection and value we place on our canine companions today. Our relationship with dogs has evolved, but the underlying sentiments of respect, love, and responsibility remain constant. We now see dogs not only as pets, but also as therapeutic aids, search and rescue heroes, and even internet sensations. Yet the essence of our bond with them remains the same, rooted in a shared history, mutual respect, and unconditional love. It's clear that our love for dogs is not just a modern phenomenon. It's a bond that dates back thousands of years, deeply ingrained in our history and culture.